All right, Matrix and Roadshow supporters, we're going to talk about actor Michael Rappaport and podcaster because he was on with Patrick Bet-David, I think yesterday. And a couple of weeks ago, Michael Rappaport, a very well-known sufferer of Trump derangement syndrome, pivoted wildly out of nowhere, and said that he was giving serious consideration to voting for Donald Trump. Now, I watched about several minutes of this podcast with PBD, and I've got to go back and watch all of it, but I was watching the entire clip, at least as it pertains to this subject we're going to talk about. And number one, he puts Gavin Newsom in a body bag during this clip and moved out of California. I mean, he said it was a dumpster fire, and he crushed Gavin when it came to the idea that Gavin may step up and run for Joe Biden. Oh, right. And also, he comes out, and I think a lot of these people, look, we've known for a very long time on our side of the political aisle, you do not watch mainstream news services. You just don't, okay? The mainstream media, you just stay away from it. And look, I'm going to have to read, The Blaze and the Daily Wire and the Post-Millennial and the Gateway Pundit and all these different places, right, where we get our coverage now, if you even want to call it journalism, because I don't trust journalists. To be honest with you, a lot of them. Well, anyway, Michael Rappaport has self-admitted he sort of fell victim to a lot of that. And he says, hey, I helped spread the Charlottesville hoax. And it's a hoax. It was always a hoax. When you heard and watched the absolute full clip of Trump talking about the Charlottesville thing, you realized the media had flat lied about what was said out of Trump. And Michael Rappaport, he admitted, I made a video, I crushed Trump over it. And he said, I was wrong. I was wrong. Now, I don't know if you recognize this guy as an actor. I like Michael Rappaport a lot. Always have. Played a bad guy in the series Justified for a full season. I'm a big Justified fan. True Romance, one of my favorite movies of all time. Back in the day, he played the best friend of Christian Slater and was also the roommate of Brad Pitt in that movie. We're talking about 1993, folks. Long time ago. And he's been in a lot of other films and television series that I like. And he's also a hip-hop head like I used to be, or still sometimes am. And he's from around the New York area. He's also seen the light based on the fact that he realizes that so many people on the left, well, they hate Jewish people. And he's found that out. And, of course, he's him himself, he's a Jewish person. So, there's that. And he's realizing how much hate there is in that party. And that is, I think, what really woke him up in all of this. So, let's take a look at this. This is Breitbart. Actor Michael Rappaport, and I will play a little bit of the clip, has admitted he helped spread the left's Trump Charlottesville, quote, very fine people hoax, saying he was wrong to have promoted the lie. Michael Rappaport spoke about the hoax during a recent interview on Patrick Bet-David's PBD podcast. Quote, the one thing about Charlottesville that I ranted about, and I was wrong. The actor, when you see the full quote, that wasn't what he said. Now, him coming up from around New York, obviously he's got some, they know who Donald Trump is because of all the business that was done up there for the most part. Kind of one of these people that, like a lot of these celebrities, they kind of fell into that thing where they liked him, and then all of a sudden he got into politics, and all of a sudden we got to hate Donald Trump. It takes a while for some people to wake up. Not to mention, I think there is a movement now to a point, a small point, to not just automatically cancel people, that come out and say, look, I may have to vote for Trump. It is what it is. We're seeing that a lot more with rappers, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, but slowly but surely some of these actors and actresses are trying to back off a little bit. President Joe Biden continues to spread the hoax, even though transcripts from Trump's Charlottesville speech in 2017 clearly disprove it. Actually, there's video out there. If you go watch the whole video, you're like, wow. I mean, that's specifically nothing he said. That's not what he said about the Charlottesville thing. When you watch the entire, context and video from what was going on during that time. As Breitbart News reported, Rappaport said he was considering voting for Trump in the November election as the Biden administration continues to pressure Israel into scaling back its war on Hamas in order to appease the Democrats' anti-Israel base. Quote, I'm not voting for Biden. I'm not voting for Kamala, Rappaport confirmed during this week's PBD podcast. He came out and said, I won't do it. And somebody said, well, what about Gavin? And he's like, bleep that. I just moved out of California because of Gavin Newsom and the crime and the homelessness. And he said it's just nasty and it's like chaos in California. We all know that. The actor also said he wouldn't vote for Governor Gavin, quote, with the good hair Newsom. I just moved out of L.A. It's not happening, he said, citing the surging levels of homelessness and crime that had been plaguing the state for years. Michael Rappaport previously floated the possibility of supporting Trump in a recent YouTube video. Dick Stain Donald Trump, who I had conversations with, I might vote for that mother effer. Oh, yeah, I'll break your hearts. And he's talking to the people that watch his podcast and listen to him because a lot of them, well, they were leftists. Uh-oh. The actor is one of a small handful of celebrities that have broken with the left to publicly voice their support for Israel following the October 7th massacre. Let's listen to this clip a little bit.
He's the big dick, and he's got the mean tweets, and he's orange. But life was good. There was no wars. The economy was going good. But damn, he's annoying to look at. But you also can acknowledge that the media had a major role in that.
A major role in that. When you take a step back.
Yes. You also acknowledge that.
Because I will acknowledge that, that one thing about the Charlottesville that I ranted about.
Yes.
And I was wrong.
But the both sides thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I respect so irresponsible.
And I respect the shit out of it. Wait, let me hear him out. Hang on. Yeah. Go a little bit more. What do you mean by that? You were wrong on that.
No, because he said the both sides, there's good people on both sides. And when you see the full quote, that wasn't what he said. And I ranted on him hard for that. Mm-hmm. Hard. There's some video about it, whatever. Yeah. I mean, I ranted hard because I was like, what are you talking about, man?
Because you got played. And here's what this is why I think you're going to vote for Trump. Is because you, much like me, much like many people, independent thinkers, not the sheep, realize we kind of got played a little bit. Yes, Trump ain't exactly the smoothest character. He's not
Jesus Christ.
No. But his policies and who he has around him are way better than what's going on there. And here's my final point. You see what's going on with the border. You see what's going on with the wokeness. You see what's going on with culture wars. And you see what's going on with actual wars.
Yeah.
Specifically, you see who the Democrats have exposed their hand, especially the progressive left. You see what's going on between Israel and Gaza. You have 3 starved David highs on your chest right now. Mm-hmm. And as someone who is a proud New Yorker your whole life, you see what the Democratic Party has turned into. This DEI, ESG, woke manifestation of ridiculousness, intersectionality, decolonialization. You're looking at that and you say, you know what? As much as I can't stand big dick Donald Trump,
you said it.
At least he's fucking normal. At least he doesn't want to turn my boy into a girl.
At least he's normal.
Well,
yes.
At least he doesn't want to turn my boy into a girl.
Yeah.
At least he's defending Israel, not the fucking terrorists. And at the end of the day, I'm a reasonable person.
Yeah.
So like you said initially, I think I'm going to consider this.
I'm considering it.
Yes.
But to pull that, I don't know, we don't pull levers anymore. Yeah. Actually pull that lever.
Yeah, pulling the lever for Biden.
And then I'm going to tell you right now, I won't vote. I'm not voting for Biden.
No.
I'm not voting for Kamala. I'm not,
But then you can't talk shit, and you need to be able to talk
Well,
shit.
wait a minute. So you're saying, so for you,
I won't vote for them.
so no matter what, that decision is
That
final.
ain't happening.
Okay.
No, I'm not. They're not happening.
Who, what?
For
I'm not
Kamala
voting for
Biden.
Kamala. I'm not voting
Or
for
anybody.
Biden.
Well, but Mikey, what about
I'm not
anybody
voting for
else?
them.
What about Michael?
Listen,
what about anybody
Vinny,
from
what
the
he's
left?
saying is,
Who?
what he's saying
There's
is,
nobody.
I'm saying, like,
Kennedy.
what if Newsom or one of these cats pop up?
Gavin? I just left California. I'm not voting for Gavin with the good hair.
I love that. I love that.
Gavin with the good hair, just like
Fuck
Becky.
out of here.
So Mike, here's my thing though. So
I'm not a sucker.
they love him. You see how much they love him, though.
they love his
Newsom.
ass.
They like his hair.
But go deeper. Why do you say you're not a sucker? What does that mean?
Because I just moved out of Los Angeles.
Okay.
It's not happening, man.
Explain that. For those of the people that have never lived in LA, why the hell, you've been there for 20 plus years, why the hell did you move out?
Well, I moved out because I wanted to go to New York. I didn't move out for any reason. I wanted to move back to New York full time. That's why I left. But on top, the homelessness in in Los Angeles and in California, San Diego, San Francisco. I could speak on those places. Sacramento is so, but particularly in Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles area is unacceptable. It's scary. It's I don't know the how to fix it. It's unacceptable. It's not safe. It's not sanitary. I know California and Los Angeles is a driving city, but I do like to walk. When you walk, you shouldn't feel just uncomfortable by hordes and hordes and hordes of homeless people. It's not good for them. It ain't good for me. It's not good across the board.
Okay, so he absolutely wrecked California. I mean, Gavin Newsom in California, he crushed it. Now, look, he's been around a long time. He's got plenty of money, but he's also, Michael Rappaport's not a lead actor, generally speaking. Sometimes he's like the second guy, or he's just got a sizable character part in some. And believe it or not, some of those roles don't pay a ton of money. Some of them pay good, some of them don't. But he certainly doesn't have, I would guess, at least as long as he's living in Los Angeles, I don't assume, gated community, private security kind of income. Maybe he does. I don't know. But that's usually the kind of celebrities that are always talking up leftist tactics and progressive ideologies, especially when it comes to, are we safe? We hate the police, crime, yada, yada, yada. Well, it's because you got private security and you're living behind a fence that's 12 foot tall. So what do you give a rip if the private citizen catches a hammer across the head? Looking at you, Paul Pelosi. But you get my point. You get what I'm saying. So he's come out. I mean, he's made quite the shift for a Hollywood actor, in just the last few months. And he had, I'm not going to say he had a Mark Hamill, Alyssa Milano sizable level of hate for Trump, but maybe he did. But he's clearly backed way off of that. He doesn't care. And this is a lot of Trump voters. He doesn't care for him on a personal level as you say some things and they sort of rub me the wrong way, blah, blah, blah. But the country was running in the manner it should, so I'm voting for the dude. That's a lot of Trump voters. It is. Personally, I don't give a rip. It doesn't bother me one bit what Trump says. He doesn't hurt my feelings. As long as his policies are good, I don't give a bleep. Tell me what you think. Matrix and Roadshow supporters, not only did I love the fact he come out and said I'm not voting for Biden or Kamala, but anytime we can throw that creep show named Gavin Newsom under the bus, well, we got to do it. I mean, that's all there is to it. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.